What's going on, guys? Pepperbelly here, bringing you some more Chivalry Medieval Warfare, and this time I'm bringing some archery gameplay. Why? Because let's see, the new patch allowed for some awesome weapon unlocks, and I got myself the light crossbow, and I needed like a kill to like get the heavy crossbow or something stupid like that. And it took me quite a while to do that, and I was like, come on, man, I just need one kill, and I was doing, because, you know, I'm a terrible archer. It took me quite a while to do this compared to every other weapon. I pretty much have every primary weapon for every class unlocked, and now I only got secondary weapons, but really, who really cares about secondary weapons, right, man? You want the primaries, you know, the primary killing method, because going out there with a secondary, especially when they're really, really small, not quite as effective as you would hope, you know. Yeah, so there's also more Total Biscuit in this gameplay as well. He is completely, forget what he's in it. Yeah, he actually told us basically he was going to do a pretty epic comparison between Chivalry and War of the Roses, and he's going to be talking about some Warband in there too and all that crap. And he actually told everyone in the match that, not this match, the one before this one we were playing on Battlegrounds. And he kind of gave us some insight as to what we can expect. And it's kind of cool because I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to say. And he actually likes this game. He thinks it's really cool. It's very intense, very brutal. And I definitely agree with that. This is like a really brutal, intense game. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully him being able to get a ton of people interested in Chivalry Medieval Warfare, because this is a game that deserves hundreds of thousands of people's eyes to look upon it and potentially use their hands and fingers and their asses to sit in a chair and actually play the game, because it's that good. It's very fun, it's very competitive, and it's incredibly addicting. I can't even believe how much like I told you in my last video, I just can't stop thinking about this game. It drives me nuts. I have dreams about it. I can't sleep at night, man. This shit, the visions, like I just can't, I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. It's actually a pretty addicting game. And the fact that I've actually put like over 50 hours, I probably have like 55, 56 hours now, I have no idea. It's up there, and it's steadily climbing, and that's pretty much the gist of shit that's going down. So, I want to talk about archery because, well, coming from a guy who sucked at it and somehow, sometimes has an occasional decent match with it. Usually I'm not that great, actually. I'm a horrible archer. But depending on the certain circumstances, they actually do pretty good. So the things I wanted to cover is basically how, right now in the beta, how the bodkin arrows and the broad arrow tip, whatever, I forget, bodkin and broad something, whatever. It's basically just like there's one arrow that has a thicker tip, and then one has a very thin tip, one for better penetration, one for more like surface, more like immediate damage. I actually never knew that they didn't do a difference. Like, there was no difference between them whatsoever, and I had no idea. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, I would actually choose based on like how many. I'd be like, okay, there's way too many knights in here, let's get some bodkin arrows, you know, like better penetration, you know, get inside that, feel that warm, lustful feeling of pain as the arrow enters your body. And then if there was too many like lighter classes like man-at-arms and the archers, then I would pull out the broad tip arrow. I really forget the actual specific name for it. It's kind of bugging me now. Kind of want to start Chivalry and just figure out what it is, just so I don't sound like an idiot. But basically, it has no difference, so you don't really have to actually pick and choose. They're just purely cosmetic right now. So like, until they actually fix them, which I think will definitely be in the retail, obviously. And there's going to be a lot of issues fixed, and that's pretty cool. Wow, man, look at that. Oh, wait, never mind. That was one of my own guys. I was like, whoa, triple kill. Oh, I killed one of my own guys. Right on. And they get hit with an arrow. And I really hope, that's another thing right there, how it kind of points that I'm shot behind me. So I'm like, instinctively, you'd want to turn all the way around and be like, who the hell's behind me? Because like that's where the arrow's pointing. It would be nice to have a more accurate, you know, arrow, like damage indicator. It'd be kind of nice. And they did say that they're going to improve that. I know that was one of the bug fixes, and they actually mentioned it a couple of times. So I'm pretty sure that'll get rectified in time. But the next thing I want to talk about is basically just how the arrows and crossbows and the, you know, oh, I killed another teammate, my god, and basically the difference between them and how effective they are And yeah, so basically on maps like this where you're firing from a higher vantage point, you're going to want to use basically a heavier bow or a heavier crossbow. And that's just my professional opinion, but also the fact that it takes a lot longer to, wind up, pull the string back and fire off. The rate of fire is a lot slower on obviously the heavier ones. They deal way more damage, and basically it allows you, plus like the fact that you're up at a vantage point, you don't really have to worry so much for incoming fire. And look at that, crank that freaking crossbow. This thing is just a beast. Like, you have to crank it. You have to crank a crossbow, man. Like, too bad it takes me forever to kill someone with it, but when I do, it's quite awesome. It almost seems like the arrows travel at a faster velocity too, which would be quite nice, because I find it wouldn't make any sense that they would only adjust damage to me, because like, what really initially causes that extra damage? It's not like you're firing a bigger arrow, you know what I mean? It's not like you're firing anything different. It's the same arrow. The only difference is that it's because it's such a thicker and bigger and heavier bow, and the type of weaving it uses for its like cord and all that crap basically means that in reality it would fire at a higher velocity. And it would really be cool if they actually incorporated like that. So, and it kind of feels like it does fire at a faster velocity. So I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe they did incorporate that. I'm not 100% sure, but you can definitely tell it is way beefier of a bow, like a crossbow. This thing's just stupidly awesome. And it doesn't reload as long as you think it would. You're like, whoa, man, heavy crossbow, and you gotta crank it. It's gonna take like 10 years to reload this one shot. No, it's like pretty fucking, like, you just crank it real quick, and then there you go. See, look at that. No time at all. Almost feels like it's faster than a light crossbow. Which, that's the stupidest thing I've ever said, because it's not even close. But basically the thing I noticed is that light crossbows have a really fast reload. Now, I originally thought that the first crossbow you got was already the light version, but apparently it's always the second weapon you unlock. It's the lighter one, and then the last one's the heaviest. So the one that you have in the middle is pretty much in between, which is kind of a smarter idea in my opinion. Instead of starting off with the shittiest stuff and then slowly getting up, which even then, they're not shitty. It's just a matter of preference of how you prefer to play, what role you want to actually actively engage in, because depending on where you are, what map you are, the weapon really is going to make a difference. You're not going to go into an arena with a fucking heavy crossbow. You're going to get one shot off and then get killed. And if you don't get a hit, even if the guy actually, even if you manage to hit someone like 2 feet in front of you and he's full health, he's not going to die. This is a headshot. Like, it's, you have to be very, like, with the, I don't know, I just can't, like, you're not going to go with a crossbow into an arena, simple as that, like, unless you're daft or something, like, I don't know. Then there's like a light crossbow, maybe, because you can actually have a decent reload time, but at the same time, as you're reloading, people are like gaining on you, and by the time you have to line up your shot and everything, you're probably going to die anyway. So the thing I noticed that is actually very effective in arena type stuff is the light bow and arrow, like just a simple bow. And the fact that it's actually a really high rate of fire, and I find it so fast that actually if you're not paying attention, you can burn through all your ammo pretty quickly. All your arrows, your ammo, ammunition, your magazines. You can burn through it all before you even realize it. That can end up costing you, because you're literally like just spitting out arrows. You're not even really aiming. You're just trying to go for like suppression, suppressing fire with arrows. Trying to like, it doesn't work. It's medieval times. I don't understand how you can suppress someone with an arrow, but the fact that you actually could spit out that much arrow or that many arrows that quickly really does make a huge difference. And an arena type environment, if you work with your team, you can actually pinpoint and get around, and you can actually either have that final blow, or you can actually flinch him for your teammate. So your teammate will be in a fight with him, and you can actually hit him constantly. So you're like, as he's trying to swing at you, you're flinching him all the time, because you're constantly hitting him on the side. You're not dealing a ton of damage, but at least you're distracting him and just completely fucking him over, so he can't really do anything, while your teammate can get in there and finish him off. Or your teammate can land that heavy blow, and then you go for that finishing touch where you just get that arrow right between the eyes, the eyepiece of his like helmet, and it goes right into his eyeball. And then you go over to him, you spit on his face, and you push him to the ground, and you declare that I'm gonna have sex with your wife. That kind of thing. Something that Mason would do. I'm pretty sure Agatha would kind of just be like, oh, good fight, but you're dead, so may the gods be with you, or whatever. And like Mason's just like, no, I'm gonna go burn your house down now. Huh, take that. That's, I don't know, Mason's awesome. God damn, I love the Mason order. Like, I can't wait to get my t-shirt, but speaking of which, when are they gonna get here? Like, I can't wait to get my mates in order t-shirt and just parade around my city where I live and just like have torches in my hand. Be like, yo man, it's not even armor, it's just a simple t-shirt. Be like, I don't care, Mason order, bitch. And like start throwing rocks through stores, shop windows, and just pillage everything and loot, and then go to prison, and then be the first statistic that a game like this caused someone to go insane and go to prison and kill people. But let's not do that, because this game does not need that kind of publicity. But basically, I am very happy with this game. I'm very impressed with the patches and how they've been communicating with us, and I'm really, really happy how they actually get into, like, the developers will actually come in the game themselves. They'll actually be like, oh hey, what's up, I'm playing with you. It's very rare for that to actually happen, especially in betas that a lot of people have access to. Like I told you in a video a while ago, the only beta that actually did that was a closed beta of like 500 people. It was really small when it first started out, and it was with Spec Ops The Line with Jaeger Studios. And when I was in that one, oh look at that, killed Total Biscuit, right on. And when I was in that beta, the developers were pretty much doing what they were doing with this game. They play all the time, they were constantly in it, and they would talk with us, but they had schedules, so they wouldn't just like allow it to play non-stop. They would actually turn on the servers at a very specific time, and everyone would have to log in at that time and play. Now, that is something that is very rare, like I said, among betas that people can actually do regularly, like people that can actually just gain access by paying money, because most of the time it's a very private thing, and they want to have actual beta testers and actual people that are going to be very serious about playing their games. Like, it's almost the next thing to getting paid for doing it, you know what I mean? Like, they would, like, for that type of caliber, like, they would actually usually pay people to test their game constantly, and instead of doing that, I guess they just made a closed beta, and it worked because they were just basically testing the multiplayer aspect of it, and it was quite good. So I'm really, really happy to say that the developers behind this game are very, very into the community, which is fucking awesome. Like, simple as that. Like, any developer who takes pride in their game will not be afraid to communicate with their community. Simple as it. Like, that I believe that, like, wholeheartedly. I completely believe that. It's completely true, because a lot of bigger companies, like fucking BioWare and shit, for example, because they fucked us over for fucking Mass. I can't even explain how mad I am about Mass Effect 3's ending and all that crap, but basically they screwed us over, and they don't seem to give a shit. They're like, no man, art choice, you know, that was our genius decision of like being artistic and stuff. Like, I smoked a bunch of weed and like this is what I came, like, fuck off. Like, it was the worst ending ever. No, none of your fucking fans like it. Fix the goddamn ending. Like, it made me so mad how they, oh, we're gonna release a video or like a DLC that's gonna basically expand upon like the 50 fucking problems we've already had with the game, and it's just gonna, we're putting fucking more shit on top of your shit. That's basically what they're saying. Like, oh, you got a nice turd there, let me grab some diarrhea and fucking slather it all over top of your already polished turd. Like, I can go on forever. It's just sucked. Like, they don't seem to care, and that's the thing. Another company, 0 Point Software, who's making Interstellar Marines, they're very, very into their community as well. And I have a feeling they're going to succeed because of that. The way their ambition for their game, like, to me, 0 Point Software and Torn Banners, my favorite companies to develop games ever. Why? Because they develop games that are actually really, really fun for the consumer to play. They don't ask for much. And the fact that they're actually considering releasing a whole bunch of DLC for free because they want to just constantly, and they're going to support the game too. It's not like they're going to just make the game and be like, done, DLC every once in a while, $300 for a map pack, you know, like something stupid like that. No, they're going to support it. They're going to make it really, really fun for everyone. They're going to constantly keep bringing fresh air into the game, and that's really important. And the fact that they're actually going to be very direct with us, and the fact that we, hopefully, even after beta, get to still play with them in the game, because that's just way more fun. And, you know, like, I find that developers that make a game that they want to play themselves brings a huge new element to how the game turns out. Like, again, pointing to 0 Point Software, they made Interstellar Marines. When they first started that, they wanted to make a game that they believe would be the best first-person shooter ever. They wanted to make a very immersive first-person shooter to the point where you actually feel like you're there. super immersive, and honestly, they've done it. Like when I play it, the like Running Man and stuff, you can see just the atmosphere and everything of how they're going about doing it. You can see that it's going to be a very immersive, very insane experience about literally going on a journey, starting as a recruit all the way up to like special forces and like becoming an interstellar marine, traveling the galaxy in a very realistic, very plausible type fashion. And the fact that they actually want to make a game that they believed would be the best game ever, it turned out that way. They have high expectations. Their ambition is so, like, I can't even begin to describe it. The weight of their ambition is just fucking, it crushes me and makes me just want to, like, give them all my monies. Like, take my monies, you know, all of it. And when they start their Kickstarter in October, you're definitely going to be seeing me supporting them just as much as I'm supporting Chivalry, because these are two developers, my two favorite genres, simple as that, like, medieval times and the future. Like, the present sucks. Like, I'm so sick of fucking modern warfare games. I already do that as a living. I don't fucking care anymore. Like, I don't want to go around like, oh, I got my M16, M203, Raycon, you know, like, I'm getting sick of that shit. I want to actually do something far out, and medieval times are fucking cool, and future is pretty cool. So, those are two games that I'm actually super ecstatic about, that I will pay tons of money to play. So, I'll probably pledge pretty much the same amount I did for Chivalry, depending. I don't want to make Chivalry feel bad if all of a sudden I pledge like $3,000 to like Interstellar Marines or 0 Point Software or whatever, because it has nothing to really do with that. It's just the fact that financially I wasn't able to give that, because I really wanted to get, I wanted that helmet. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking wanted that helmet. That helmet looks cool. It's cosmetic purely, but I mean still, it's like, it's a symbol, man. It's a symbol of, I have money, and I donated a lot of money to your Kickstarter, and now I have a cool helmet because of it. And, like, there's maybe, like, what, 11, 15, 20 people in the whole world that has it? Like, come on, that's pretty fucking awesome. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And the game craps out here, of course. It lagged, the server crashed. I got really sad and tried to kill myself and realized that the only way I can do that is by jumping off. Take care, guys.